switched up, I just changed lanes. I be with them niggas getting money and with niggas who gangbang. You niggas too frilly, you too strange. Cop some better work, hit the block, save up, get a new chain. I see my uncle hop in a new range. He taught me how to rap, bubble pack, now I got me some new flavor. I know y'all niggas thought that y'all had me, but the glick in the stash, she tried me. Get popped like acne, we got buttons on the back of them ratchets. Two turn can't relax me, rock designer, bitch, ain't none of us tacky. Ain't have nothing but some noodles in the crib. On that demon time, I move crucial with my blick. Baby, I'm a blood, but I be grooving with my sig. I be getting paranoid, bitch, don't be moving through my crib. No, it's RMSG, and I started this shit with Miz. Vamping in the jacks, they know I did this shit with shiz. We really put that bat on ass. We don't talk about them kids. They know I'm from the trenches, so it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the word? It's your boy Norbs, and this is 10A Podcast. We get in the studio ready. We're going to have some new stuff, new launching. Monday through Friday, we're going to be doing the show at 12 p.m. to about 1 or 12:30, 1:30. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be Monday through Friday. But I had to, just come on the show and let y'all know what time it is. We're going to keep building this platform, continue to get the viewership up, doing interviews with all types of boxers, upcoming boxers, superstar boxers, whatever it is. I look at it like this. I like to dig deep into the sport and kind of expose a lot of stuff that people don't want to speak about. I just dropped an interview with Jose Belloso, right? And a lot of people look at him as a journeyman coming up. He's a boxer that I respect. First of all, I respect anybody who gets in the ring, first of all. You know what I mean? You're risking your life. You're doing all these things. It's not as simple as whatever. But as you see, I got my Team Canelo shirt on. Just want to put that out there. I am a Canelo Alvarez fan. And we're going to get into that. But there's an interview I just dropped today. Support, man. I'm going to continue to drop stuff. As we grow, we're going to get bigger and bigger interviews. We're going to get more content. I'm going to be dropping different shorts, a lot of different things. Please support. You know what I mean? He said Punch Drunk. I don't know Punch Drunk, but if anybody knows Punch Drunk, please tell him to hit me up, man. I'm willing to work with anybody right now. I'm just enjoying speaking about boxing. 2024 has been super dope so far for boxing. And whatever. So somebody says, I thought it was 35 million. Okay, so let's break it down. Canelo Alvarez apparently made an announcement that May 4th he was supposed to fight an American fighter. Most people believe that it was going to be Jermall Charlo because he said it was an American. He also took a shot at Benavidez in that thing and called him an American, not a Mexican fighter. So I put out a blog and I said maybe it's Benavidez. Okay. Now, I also stated in the past, Canelo is a businessman, okay? He's a businessman, guys. And he understands how bad people want to see this fight. And the bottom line is he's not going to take one penny less than he believes it's worth. Now, the 35 million was for PBC basically stating that basically Canelo having a problem with his with PBC that they owe him $35 million. But PBC has come out and basically stated that they do not want to pay him to fight Jermall Charlo as they will not recoup that money. It's not going to be beneficial to them to pay $35 million for Jermall Charlo. That's what they believe. But they say that they would pay for that to see Jaime Munguia. That's where the $35 million comes up. The $60 million, let's talk about the $60 million that everybody's talking about right now. I thought it was 55, but apparently it's $60 million. Every blogger out there is saying Canelo is ducking. I'm with Team Canelo. I don't believe Canelo is ducking. I believe Canelo is getting this. He's trying to get to the bag. $100 million bag is what I believe is going to take for him to sign on the dotted line to fight Benavidez. And I know he believes he can get that. And I think boxing actually understands that. So apparently this was leaked out by let me actually pull this up real quick on Jose Benavidez Sr., his page. So apparently I'm going to play the audio. I don't want to play the whatever, but let me see if it plays first real quick. This is
of $60 million to Canelo Alvarez to fight David Benavidez on May 4th. This information was revealed by journalist Bernardo Pilati, who was the first man to say that Canelo Alvarez was aiming to fight Jermall Charlo on May 4th. Finally, that fight apparently is not going to happen, because PBC considers that this is not a fight that is going to give them great financial gains. This journalist guarantees that this information comes directly from within PBC. The offer was real, and if Canelo does not accept that offer, Benavidez will move up to light heavyweight to fight Alexander Gvozdyk in a WBC eliminator fight.
So, that reporter apparently is the one that broke the story about Jermell Charlo and all that. So, back about a year ago, I want to say, Jose Benavidez Sr. came out and said that they had $40 million guaranteed for Canelo. Now, they're reporting that PBC is stating that they've upped it to $60 million. And when this initial announcement came up of Jose Benavidez Sr. saying this, I was like, Canelo understands that, hey, this is a big fight. It's a dangerous fight. People want to see the face of boxing, the GOAT, Canelo. They want to see him lose. I mean, listen, he's went up to fight Golovkin. People will duck him. Andre Ward didn't fight Golovkin. Nobody says nothing about that. But apparently people want to see it. But in a year's span, the guaranteed offers went up to $60 million. Why would Canelo then go and say, hey, I'm going to take that $60 million? When in reality, I can wait it out and make you guys want to see this more. I go out there and beat Jermell Charlo. People want to see this fight. Pay me what it is. And I believe, and I strongly believe that Canelo is seeking, and I don't know if this is true. And again, we don't know if the offer is actually real. This is coming in from the quote-unquote inside. Mr. Reynoso and Canelo have come out and said that nobody has reached out with an offer. So they're denying any offers. Now, even Jose Benavidez Sr. posted this, did not confirm that there was an offer coming for them. We all know that they're trying to make this fight happen. But he did not confirm nor deny that there was an offer made to Team Canelo. So let's get that right. This is a leak rumor from someone inside, apparently from PBC, stating that they're willing to pay that. Now, we all know that this is the biggest fight in boxing. This is the biggest fight that can be made in boxing, okay? We're not going to deny that. We also know that Benavidez is a super talented fighter, okay? He did come out and state, and this is the rumor, if Canelo doesn't take the fight, he's moving up to light heavyweight. Benavidez probably walks around at over 200 pounds easily. He's about 6'3", guy can fight, guy can punch, guy's a savage, okay? Let's keep it real. Canelo understands all of this, but he also understands the value of this fight and the value of Benavidez. For some strange reason, people, and I mean, let's be honest, he's a phenomenal fighter, but people believe that this is the fight that, you know, that is going to define Benavidez and make him that bag. And Benavidez understands that. Benavidez will probably take $10 million or $5 million and give everything to Canelo because he understands the opportunity that's ahead of him at this point. Now, Canelo is also a very smart businessman. Just recently signed a deal with Mexican television. We brokered another deal to where his people don't get to pay for the pay-per-view. And we all know that that's going to cost to license that. And Canelo got paid off of that. You can't sit there and critique Canelo for wanting more, especially the fact that this is a very dangerous opponent. Let's just say he gets his $60 million, he loses to him or whatnot. Who's to tell that he's going to be as valuable at this point? You know what I'm saying? And you lose out on these other $35 million fights. Why not grab these $35 million, boom, against Munguia? And Munguia is another person that's a big threat. Let's be honest. Canelo does not want to fight him right now. And a lot of people are critiquing him. Paulie Malignaggi's putting up duck things. People are calling him a duck. And it's just crazy to me because the man with the best the best resume in pro boxing today, is probably beating the most champions that's out there right now, is being called a duck. I don't believe it. I believe it's more so of a business move, and he understands the value of the Benavidez fight. He understands that, listen, and let's be honest, when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, they waited years to fight it. People were saying Mayweather was ducking. Mayweather made a financial decision where I think he ended up making like $160 million or something of that magnitude. Canelo views the same thing, especially the fact that he's an international star. And you got to look at it like that. He's an international star. This is going to be seen globally, and he wants to get into the 100 millions, in my opinion, to make this fight happen. Now, of course, he views Benavidez as a threat. Now, do I think he's scared of Benavidez? Absolutely not. I believe that he's just making the best business decision. If he can get 35 to fight Jermell Charlo, guaranteed. It's $35 million. You still got Jaime Munguia, but again, we don't know if that's a possibility simply because his beef with Oscar. People don't understand that that's a serious beef, and Jaime is a golden boy fighter. Now, a lot of people are saying he's ducking him because of the mandatory thing. Whatever. It's business at this point. Yes, he's his mandatory fighter, but at the same time, it's a negotiation. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right? Yeah, I have to fight him, but at the same time, you're not going to force me to take a number that I don't feel comfortable with. And that's the business side of boxing that sometimes slows things up. And when you're as valuable as Canelo Alvarez, and people are listen, if Canelo's guaranteed $100 million, what do you think PBC is going to see off of that? What do you think these networks are going to see off of that? What do you think the advertisements, and this is going to be a big fight. So Canelo understands at this point he wants a certain amount guaranteed on top of what he's going to get in a pay-per-view cut. It's a financial move. Canelo has learned. Reynoso is one of the best businessmen out there. Let's keep it real at this point. And listen, look at Ryan Garcia. I feel like Ryan Garcia's learned off of that camp. He made $41 million last year. Somebody that was in Canelo's camp. I mean, of course, he's learned the game from Oscar and those guys. They understand the value of this fight, and everyone wants this fight. What I believe, this is what I believe. They have one fight left, I think, under Matchbox or whatever it is, right? I believe he wants to get that fight out the way and renegotiate it. And if you want the Benavidez fight, you're going to pay for it. If you want the Terence Crawford fight, you're going to pay for it. I believe Canelo Alvarez is seeking upwards of close to $100 million in this fight. Now, I don't have no inside information. I don't have any of that. But what I do know is that the internet, the streets, everyone wants to see this fight. And Canelo he absolutely understands how big a Benavidez fight would be. You know what I mean? Ether Boy, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Man, we're going to keep growing this thing, man. We're going to keep doing it tomorrow. I'm going to do a special show because, Benavidez is fighting. So we're going to do probably like a live stream, get predictions and stuff like that for Berlanga. I said Benavidez, Berlanga, actually. But Monday through Friday, we're going to do the shows at 12 o'clock. That's the easiest for me to work. But anyways, having said what I just said, and this is just being honest, listen, I'm Team Canelo, okay? But I'm going to get me a Benavidez t-shirt because that's my guy too. Benavidez is in my top 5. I want to see the damn fight. I believe my guy, Canelo's he's going to make that fight. Win, lose, or draw, this is a Hall of Famer right here. Show some goddamn respect to Canelo Alvarez, okay? I support the man. I don't believe he's ducking the fight. I believe this is going to be the biggest fight in years, probably since Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. But also, people got to remember, too, when that fight happened, Manny went through like De La Hoya. He was knocking mofos out everywhere. Miguel Cotto, Benavidez has yet to do that. He did beat Caleb Plant, and he did beat Boo Boo. Those names are nowhere near the fighters that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd were beating at the time, and in regards to name recognition. So to me, I get what Canelo's trying to do. He's trying to up the ante as much as possible before he takes this fight. This is a dangerous fight. Listen, the negotiations for this fight are going to be mega. It's not going to be someone just leaking, whatever. And I feel like a lot of these leaks are to put pressure on Canelo, to attack his pride. But Canelo's been around the block with this. I don't think Canelo's going to sit there and say give in to people saying that Canelo is scared. I do not believe Canelo Alvarez is scared. I 100% believe that this is a business decision. I believe he will fight him, but I do believe there are outside forces out there that are trying to force him to take a certain number just to get the fight. And of course, we want to see this fight, but let's not just pressure Canelo Alvarez and put the onus on him to save boxing, because there are a lot of other fighters out there that aren't fighting the big fights. So let's stop at this point. Okay. Canelo understands the value of this fight. Okay, he understands how many people want to see this, and I'm talking about globally. I was talking to my buddy Gerald McCoy the other day. Shout out to him, and he's like, bro, like and I told him this. He had sent me a message. He's like, oh, people are saying. I'm like, bro, if they offered $40 million guaranteed, right, and this fight was nowhere near as high, and this is I think before he beat Caleb Plant Benavidez. This is before he beat Boo Boo. What do you think the value is now? People believe, and I've seen people come out and say, numerous people, that he's going to stop Canelo. Canelo, this is the first time Canelo's going to get stopped. He's going to get beat bad. There are a lot of people that want to see Canelo go down. Shout out to my guy, Paulie Malignaggi. That's my guy. I'm a fan of Paulie, but Paulie's on his helmet. Timothy Bradley's not my guy. He's an ultimate Canelo hater. In fact, he said Canelo is predictable. He's not that great. Terrence Crawford would beat him. These are things that people are saying to get under Canelo's skin, to basically get him to jump in the ring. Listen, Canelo is the biggest face in boxing, period. There's no debating this. When you're seeing numbers of 60 million guaranteed being thrown out there, there's a reason for that. The guy is an international star, but he's not going to sign regardless of the belt. Listen, he means more to the 168 than those belts. And the commissions that hold those belts understand that. And they understand how big of a move it's going to be when they fight for the unification at 168 pounds. They understand how valuable this is. And I'm listen, as bad as I want to see this fight, I want Canelo to basically do what he wants to do and get the money. Somebody said Bud will beat Canelo, but Bud Crawford would not beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm being honest with you. It's not going to happen. Stop he's never fought anyone on the level of Canelo. And stop it, guys. Listen, I know a lot of people want to see Canelo lose. It reminds me of when people wanted to see Michael Jordan lose in the 90s. Listen, greatness is not accepted by everybody. This man, he's great. And not only is he great, he fights every fight. He doesn't take nights off. He fights injured. He challenges himself. Everything that we want a champion to actually do. So let's give the man some credit. People act like he went to light heavyweight and just fought anybody. He fought Bivol, who was the champion, at light heavyweight. Canelo's, come on, man. I'm tired of defending this when nobody else is getting critiqued for not fighting. Bud's not getting critiqued for not fighting Teofimo Lopez. Or, I mean, is he getting as much pressure to fight Boots? No. Is Javante getting pressure to fight Devin Haney? As bad as Canelo is, Canelo has to beat everyone in order to get respect. And I get it. People want to see that. But Canelo Alvarez, Team Alvarez is not running. Team Canelo is not running. My man right here, let me see who's this right here. My man, boom, my man, E. Dot the King. Canelo's the biggest star in boxing. PBC wants him in a super fight with Benavidez. Give an offer he can't refuse. Simple. Listen, Either I am absolutely with you, and I firmly believe that Canelo is seeking guarantees of over $100 million. I'm gauging this right now, and I don't know Canelo personally. I'd love to meet Canelo. I'm a big fan, but it's a big fight, and not only Canelo should get the bag, okay. Not only Canelo, but Benavidez should get what this fight is worth. Benavidez should get a huge check for this. This is a huge fight, period. Especially in let me break it down when it comes to the Latino community, okay? This would be the biggest fight in the Latino culture since Trinidad de la Hoya. I'm trying to think of a fight in the Latin community. And remember this, Canelo understands that Latinos support, okay? And this is a big, big fight. You're talking about, you know how much beer they're going to sell that weekend? You know how crazy the barbershops are going to be, how people are going to be choosing sides, Mexican Americans versus homegrown Mexicans from Mexico going at it. Do you understand the amount of money that is going to be made in this fight? Listen, when De La Hoya fought Trinidad, it was Puerto Rico versus Mexico, right? And we've always had a huge rivalry with Mexico. You know what I mean? And I'm just being honest. Before that, it was Camacho and Chavez, which I got my heart broken because I'm a Camacho guy, right? It was bad. It was. You could cut the tension with a knife when you saw when Trinidad fought De La Hoya. It was getting ugly in the streets. People were fighting in the streets. People wanted to see this, right? Now let's fast forward to now. Benavidez is a budding star. He's a star. Okay. He's a star. And in the Latino community, two of them. And not only that, a Mexican American versus Canelo Alvarez. Do you know? Let's take this into account. Every city you go to, or every state you go to, there's Mexicans. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Let's just be honest. Okay. So there's been a lot of Mexican Americans born here that are going to basically be siding with him because they listen. It's like Puerto Ricans from here. We're not look. I was born in I was born in New York, right? So a lot of people view us as gringos, right? It's the same way with the Mexican culture. They look at Benavidez, right? Although he is Mexican, as an American, and Canelo is that for you know for Mexico. Same thing when Camacho fought Rosario. Camacho's looked like as a New York City person. When he fought Rosario, people in Puerto Rico wanted Rosario, and New York and the Puerto Ricans in the States wanted Camacho. It's very, very similar. And there's more Mexicans in this country than there are Puerto Ricans. So you can only imagine how insane this fight will be. Okay. This is a fact. I wish people would actually understand. You know what I mean? Somebody said Benavidez is going to whoop Saul. Listen, the one thing I will say is this in regards to, I don't know who this Facebook user is because you got to sign in, whatever. But the one thing we're going to get in this fight is two guys that aren't going to run. We're not going to get a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight where Mayweather's going to fight not to get hit. These guys are going to leave it out there. Benavidez is going to try to kill Canelo. Canelo's going to box and try to kill Benavidez. This is going to be an action-packed fight. There is no way that this fight doesn't live up to the hype. Okay? And if anybody's going to capitalize, it should be Benavidez and it should be Canelo. And Canelo understands the business aspect of this stuff. And I'm just being honest. My man Eat the Boy 369 comes out and says, I'm a black man who lives in Texas. No one's just telling all facts. Mexicans turn up every Canelo fight respectfully. Absolutely. And do you understand how big this fight's going to be when Mexican Americans are put against Mexicans from Mexico? Do you understand the calls that they're going to be getting? It's absolutely insane. And they understand how much money this is going to make. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I like this guy right here. He says, PBC is signed with Amazon Prime. They can give Canelo a Benavidez. Bro, trust me. Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company? Why do you think that they got into boxing? Amazon wasn't doing boxing before. Why do you think they want this Canelo fight, PBC? Because they have to show numbers to Amazon. Amazon didn't get into this to do, and no disrespect to any of these other fighters, to do Jose versus Charlie. They coming to they want that fight. You don't think they got the money to pay Canelo? You don't think people are going to stream that shit? You don't think the digital imprint is going to be absolutely crazy? Somebody says this flat out Norbs, Benavidez will walk down Canelo. I've never seen anybody walk down Canelo. And let's just be honest. I know people want to see Canelo lose, but listen, let's be honest. Benavidez is a great fighter. So is Canelo. There's not going to be no backing down. I don't even know if this fight will go 12 rounds because I think it's going to be a bloodfest. I think Canelo's going to get cut. I believe Benavidez is going to get cut. It's going to be an amazing fight. But Canelo understands this. He's going to give you this. He's going to lay his heart on the line, his life on the line, as well as Benavidez. You don't think Canelo and Reynoso understand that Amazon is out there? That they are a billion-dollar company that needs digital content? You don't think that they understand that? Do you not think that they don't believe? You don't believe that they believe that they can get $100 million guaranteed, maybe more? I mean, come on. I'm just being honest. This is the fight that everybody wants to see. Everybody in London, everybody globally. If you're in the Philippines, if you're in the Americas, if you're in Mexico, this is the fight that everybody wants to see. These are the two individuals that everybody wants to see go at it. So miss me with the Canelo is ducking. He doesn't want to fight Benavidez. None of these individuals that are speaking on this have ever fought for any amount of money of this magnitude. And this is a fact. I mean, outside of Floyd, let's be honest, or Manny, and Floyd has always been outspoken about Canelo. Let's be honest. But let's be real. This fight is going to break records. It's going to break pay-per-view records. You know what I'm saying? How big was Manny versus Floyd? Manny was an international star. It is different when you have international stars come to the table. It just is. Listen, did we not just watch Canelo Alvarez sell out an arena in Mexico? I think it was like 70,000 people to fight Ryder? Come on, guys. Let's be honest. People listen. A lot of people believe Canelo's gonna lose. Listen, I don't know what Canelo Alvarez has ever seen that can just be washed. Hey, listen, and I'm not saying Canelo can't lose this fight because Benavidez is a great fighter, and I'm a Benavidez fan. If I had to pick my favorite fighters right now, Canelo, Benavidez are literally right there together. I'm just being honest. I love David Benavidez. And I love the fact that David Benavidez is a humble bully. What is a humble bully, guys? He does this for pride as well as money. But when he's in that ring, it's war. But after the fight, he shows a lot of love. And I respect Benavidez. And I'm gonna order me a Benavidez t-shirt. Anybody could link me to where I could get it. But I'm a big Benavidez fan. I argue with my guy flat all the time about it, and we spoke, and bro, I can't sit there and tell you that Canelo's just gonna walk this man down. I can't do that. Okay, I love both of these guys genuinely, and these two individuals are what boxing should be. There's a reason why people want to tune in to see Benavidez and Canelo, and don't want to see guys like, and no disrespect to Shakur Stevenson, because these guys lay it out on the line. They lay it out on the line. The people pay for this type of shit. Edot says PBC would be foolish not to get Canelo his money. Absolutely. Absolutely. Canelo doesn't get tired. He's more balanced. Benavidez has not been in 13-round wars like Canelo has. Live wire, I'm with you on that. This is going to be a test, man. Listen, Benavidez respects Canelo. He truly respects Canelo. I don't want to sit here and say that he doesn't. He respects Canelo. He understands this is big. This is big. You know what I mean? Andres, how he did. You mean you talking about Booby? Boo. You talking about when Benavidez beat Andrade? I wasn't really surprised. Going up to 168, Boo. I don't think Boo will ever be the champion. I think he's a very good fighter. Benavidez is too strong, and I think when people fight Benavidez, and I'm just being honest, they put too much energy in fighting a fight that they don't usually fight. And what I mean by that is all of the movement, all of the running, all of the doing all this, they don't fight their fight. They fight something that they're not comfortable fighting. And if you're not comfortable fighting a simple style and you're attempting something brand new, I believe muscle memory is for real. And I believe you'll get fatigued a lot faster. And I think Andrade, if he'd maintain that, but there was no way he could maintain that fight. Canelo's not going to change completely in that fight. He's going to fight a fight that he feels he's going to win, but he's not going to run. He's not going to do all this. Listen, and let's be honest. Benavidez has not been hit by the type of power that Canelo possesses as well. So let's not act like Canelo's not a great body puncher. Let's not act like Canelo hits hard, doesn't hit hard at that weight. Let's not do that. Listen, I respect Benavidez. Long, can punch, throws amazing combinations. But you also got to look at the other side. Canelo's a great defensive fighter. Some people don't want to give him credit for that. Shows great head movement. He's a great counterpuncher. Kills the body. There's a lot of things in this fight. It's going to be a fight of wills. Who's going to have more will? And I believe there's going to be 3 fights when they fight. I just believe that. And I think Canelo does too. I think Canelo understands that it's more difficult. It's more complicated, this fight, to make happen, because I believe Reynoso believes that Benavidez is a great fighter, and there's probably going to be rematches. And if you can guarantee damn near a trilogy to where these guys go at it and make over $500 million, which I believe is possible because I believe the first fight is going to be crazy. Why in the world do you think this fight is so easy to make? It's not. There's a lot of variables that are going into this fight. You don't believe, listen, if this fight is great, you don't think a part 2 is going to be right around the corner? And Canelo's not going to want to wait 2-3 years to do this fight. He's already 33 years old. Listen, this fight is going to take a lot out of both of them. Benavidez is 24, Canelo's 33, right? So those fights, if it is a trilogy of any sort, it's going to take place damn near back to back. And I believe Reynoso knows this, and I believe Benavidez knows this. I believe Canelo understands this. That the value of the fact that this is probably going to be a trilogy, in my opinion, it's going to be a trilogy. The rematch is worth way more than the first one because I think the first one is going to be insane. What if I wouldn't be shocked if these guys beat the hell out of each other into a draw? So what happens then? Now you got to get into the drawing table for the second fight. I believe that this is the fight that's going to define both of them in regards to what's more so going to define Benavidez. This is the fight that he becomes a big star. You know what I mean? To be honest, that he goes to the next level. Canelo's there. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest fighters to ever live. Okay. Without Benavidez, he's a Hall of Famer. Will it be a stain? Absolutely, because people are always going to try to knock Canelo for everything he does. So to me, I believe that Canelo understands the value of this fight. You know what I mean? And I think this is, and just being honest, he had a trilogy with Triple G, right? The first fight was close. I think it was a draw, right? Canelo, and that was the first time Canelo went up to 160 to fight him. Comes back the second fight, and people wanted to see it. They thought Triple G was going to knock him out. And remember, Triple G was knocking mother effers out like crazy, right? Canelo beats him, in my opinion, clearly the second fight. And then the third fight was a waste. I believe this fight is bigger than that fight. So what do you think? You think Canelo's an idiot? Do you think he's like, yeah, I'll take 60 million? No, Canelo's like, you know what? I'll take 100 million guaranteed for all 3 fights because I believe, and this is what I'm saying, I think this is going to be a possibility to be a trilogy. This is going to be Mexican history. This is going to be Latino history. This fight is going to be worth billions in regards to the streaming and the advertisers. So for everybody out there that's saying, hey, Canelo, you're ducking this man, bro, it's not that simple. It's not that simple, bro. Benavidez is willing to drop everything to take this fight because he understands what this is going to do. And I'm just being honest. Johnny Bravo, I don't know what he said. What is he saying? He said something about cherry picking. If Canelo loses the first fight, Canelo will be us to say, no, Canelo doesn't cherry pick, bro. You don't cherry pick by fighting champions. It's amazing how Canelo cherry picks, but then like these other guys fight nobody in their division and nobody says anything about it. No, Canelo has never cherry picked. Fighting guys like Danny Jacobs is not cherry picking. Fighting Triple G is not cherry picking. Fighting Shane Mosley is not cherry picking. Like, come on, guys, stop this shit, bro. I like Caleb Plant too. Like Caleb Plant was a champion over there. So, no, not you, Johnny. Somebody else said it. I think this could be the last great boxing series for a long time, and I believe it's going to be a trilogy. And I think Canelo understands that, and I think that that's the holdup. I think it's the business. I don't think he's scared or anything, but he also understands. He also understands the value of this fight. Now, think about it. Does anybody think this is going to be a boring fight? Some people are going to speak with their pride and their fanfare. Like, I'm a Canelo fan. I'm also a Benavidez fan, but I'm not an idiot. Benavidez is a fighter. He's a great fighter. Okay? And he's an exciting fighter. Listen, and I love Floyd Mayweather, right? But I fell in love watching Pretty Boy Floyd, who used to let his hands go. As Floyd got older, he didn't really do that as much. What Canelo is doing at the age of 30, nobody else is doing like that, especially at his level of notoriety. He's fighting these guys and he's challenging himself. He's not going out there and pity patting or and just and I'm just saying I don't knock Floyd for not being as offensive minded later in his career. Canelo is going out there to knock people out. Just being honest. He's going out there to knock people out. So if you think any less for him fighting Benavidez, especially with the Mexican shield, wearing that thing, showing that pride, if you think any less is going into that fight, except for 1,000%, then you, my man, are not a boxing fan, don't understand who Benavidez is, nor do you understand who Canelo Alvarez is. Okay? And I believe this fight will happen. I don't believe it'll happen this May, but I do believe, I don't even think September. If it does happen September, I'd be surprised. I believe, and I said this before, that it happens 2025 of May of 2025, and it's going to be followed up with guarantees of a rematch and possibly a trilogy. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo, let's say they split the first two and then the third, or the first they draw, so Canelo wins second, and now you have a third, and then Canelo walks off into the sunset. That's probably the most exciting fighter to ever live. I don't know. Live Wire said cartel bets will be wild. Listen, the bets, the energy, it's just something that boxing needs. And Canelo, I do not blame him for wanting to be monetized correctly. I just don't. We see these multi-billion-dollar companies shit on the little man all the time. And Canelo is not that guy. He's a powerful individual. He has a great team. And, some people are going to kill me because I got a Canelo shirt on. Oh, he's just a Canelo. He's a beef rider. No, bro. It is what it is, man. You think I think it's next May too, Johnny. I don't think it's this May. I just believe there's too many things that go into it. But that's what I believe. But again, guys, I love you out of death. Monday through Friday, I'm going to be doing shows every day, the 10 A podcast. I want y'all to tune in. I'm going to have the call-in number there. Let's debate boxing. Let's talk about all the big things that are happening in boxing today. 2024 is going to be a big year. I will be pulling up to, hopefully, the Devin Haney fight, April 20th. Also, May 4th, I'm hoping to be at that Canelo fight. Let's build this up. Let's give the people a voice, man. I want people to call in and talk. I'm not on that Hollywood stuff. And as I grow in this culture, I'm going to continue to get better at it, and I definitely support y'all. Think about Single Mile Weekend going to be bigger than Super Bowl. It's going to be big. It's going to be big, man. I don't know, man. So I think May of next year, 2025, it happens. I believe Jaime Munguia could happen in September. I still think it's going to be Jermell Charlo in May 4th. And I believe that PBC is also pulling something to where they don't want Canelo to be a free agent and negotiate with everyone else. So that's how I feel. That's how it is. I'm going to let it go right here. Don't play with my man Canelo. He ain't no duck. Paulie, you my guy, but he's not no duck, man. All right, I don't want to hear that shit. But on that note, we are out.